In October 2011, a Bloomberg journalist asked Elon Musk what he thought about a Chinese car company called BYD. Musk laughed, not a polite chuckle, a genuine, dismissive laugh. Then he looked at the camera and said, "Have you seen their car? I don't think it's particularly attractive. The technology is not very strong, and BYD as a company has pretty severe problems in their home turf in China. I think their focus is, and rightly should be, on making sure they don't die." 14 years later, BYD sold 2.26 million electric vehicles in 2025. Tesla sold 1.64 million. For the first time in history, a Chinese automaker nobody in America had heard of had dethroned the most celebrated car company on Earth. The company Elon Musk laughed at on camera is now the largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the world. This is the story of how that happened. How a poor orphan from rural China, working out of a tiny factory in Shenzhen with 20 employees and a loan from his cousin, built a company that outmaneuvered, outproduced, and ultimately outsold the man who once couldn't stop laughing at him. To understand how BYD won, you first need to understand where it came from, because the story does not start with cars. It starts with batteries. In 1995, a 29-year-old Chinese chemist named Wang Chuanfu noticed something nobody else was paying attention to. Japanese electronics manufacturers were shifting away from nickel-cadmium batteries toward newer, more advanced lithium-ion technology. That transition was creating a gap in the market. Cheap, reliable nickel-cadmium batteries were suddenly undersupplied, and the Japanese companies that had dominated that market were no longer interested in making them. Wang borrowed the equivalent of roughly $300,000 from his cousin, gathered 20 employees, and started a battery company in Shenzhen. He named it BYD, which stood for Build Your Dreams. His strategy was brutally simple. Study Japanese batteries, take them apart, figure out how they worked, then build them cheaper, faster, and at higher volume using a combination of manual labor and modified production processes that cut out the expensive automation Japanese factories depended on. It worked. Within years, BYD had become a major supplier of batteries to Nokia and Motorola, two of the most powerful phone companies on Earth. By 2002, the company had listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Wang Chuanfu had gone from borrowing money from his cousin to running one of the largest battery manufacturers in the world in 8 years. But Wang wasn't satisfied being a battery company. He had a larger vision, and in 2003, he made a move that most Chinese industrialists thought was insane. Wang acquired a small, failing Chinese automaker called Xi'an Qinchuan Automobile. The company was producing around 2,000 cars a year and losing money. Nobody wanted it. Wang paid a fraction of its nominal value and immediately set about converting it into something different. A vehicle manufacturer built around the one thing BYD already knew better than almost anyone on Earth: batteries. BYD's first car, the F3, launched in 2005. It was a combustion engine vehicle, affordable and practical, and it bore an unmistakable resemblance to a Toyota Corolla. Critics called it a copycat. Wang didn't deny the influence. His philosophy was direct. Study what works, improve it, sell it cheaper. The F3 sold more than 1 million units. But the cars were never the point. They were the foundation. In 2008, while Tesla was still 3 years away from delivering its first mass-market vehicle, BYD launched the F3DM, a plug-in hybrid. The world's first mass-produced plug-in hybrid sedan, announced at the Geneva Motor Show. Wang Chuanfu had beaten every major Western automaker to a technology that the industry claimed was years away. That same year, something happened that would change BYD's trajectory forever. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, guided by Buffett's legendary business partner Charlie Munger, invested $230 million for a 10% stake in the company. Munger had been introduced to Wang by an asset manager and came away describing him as a combination of Thomas Edison and Jack Welch. He called the BYD investment the single best thing he had ever done at Berkshire. Buffett trusted Munger's judgment and wrote the check. When Berkshire Hathaway invested in a Chinese electric car company almost nobody in America had heard of, it was an enormous signal. Wall Street mostly ignored it. Elon Musk, 2 years later, laughed at it. Meanwhile, Tesla was doing something genuinely extraordinary. In 2012, the Model S launched and stunned the automotive world. It was a luxury electric sedan with real range, breathtaking performance, and software that updated over the air like a smartphone. It was a product nobody had seen before. Every major car reviewer called it the best car they had ever driven. It made Tesla the symbol of the future. It made Elon Musk a legend. Tesla's stock reflected the mythology. By late 2021, The company was worth over $1.2 trillion, making it the most valuable automaker in history, more valuable than Toyota, Volkswagen, GM, Ford, and every other major manufacturer combined. A car company that sold fewer than 1 million vehicles a year was valued more than every other car company on Earth that sold tens of millions combined. The market was not valuing what Tesla was, it was valuing what Tesla was going to become. That valuation rested on a specific premise. Tesla would maintain its technological lead, its brand dominance, and its market share while competitors struggled to catch up. It was a reasonable bet in 2021. By 2025, it had become a story about a company that lost its edge, and a CEO who helped it happen. Tesla's core vehicles were aging. The Model 3 launched in 2017. The Model Y launched in 2019. By 2024, both had gone years without major redesigns. In a market where Chinese competitors were releasing new models every few months, with sharper designs, newer technology, and dramatically lower prices, Tesla's lineup began to look dated. BYD, meanwhile, had spent those years executing a strategy so quietly effective that most Western analysts missed it entirely. The company invented the Blade battery in 2020, a lithium iron phosphate cell design that was simultaneously safer, cheaper, and more energy-dense than existing alternatives. At a time when the entire industry was moving away from lithium iron phosphate because of concerns about energy density, BYD moved toward it, solved the problem, and turned it into a competitive advantage. While Tesla depended on a complex web of suppliers for its battery cells, BYD manufactured almost everything itself. Batteries, motors, chips, drivetrains, even the glass in its windshields. Vertical integration so complete that BYD's cost per vehicle was dramatically lower than any Western competitor. In April 2025, the company announced a new charging technology capable of delivering 250 miles of range in 5 minutes. Tesla's best supercharger technology achieves 200 miles in roughly 15 minutes. The price difference was staggering. A BYD Seagull, the company's entry-level electric vehicle, sold in China for the equivalent of approximately $10,000. Tesla's cheapest vehicle was nearly 4 times that price. In a market where the primary objection to electric vehicles has always been affordability, BYD had solved the problem. Tesla had not. The second problem was Elon Musk himself. In early 2025, Musk became the public face of the Department of Government Efficiency, a controversial federal initiative that slashed spending and eliminated government agencies at speed. He posted incendiary political content on X, the platform he owned, at a pace and intensity that kept him at the center of political controversy for months. He made a gesture at a political rally that generated enormous backlash globally. He spent nearly $300 million helping elect Donald Trump to a second term. The political fallout landed directly on Tesla's balance sheet. A Morning Consult survey in early 2025 found that 27% of American consumers said they would not consider buying a Tesla. By early 2026, that number had climbed to nearly 32%. In California, Tesla's most important U.S. market, Experian data showed market share falling from 11.6% of all vehicle registrations in 2024 to 9.9% in 2025. In Europe, the damage was worse. Sales fell for 13 consecutive months. The Netherlands dropped 67%. France dropped 42%. Germany, Tesla's largest European market, fell 48% in 2025 alone. Protests erupted outside Tesla dealerships across the continent. Tesla's brand value, according to Brand Finance, collapsed 36% in 2025, a loss of $15.4 billion. The same brand that had once been synonymous with environmental aspiration, with the future, with clean technology, had become, for a significant and growing portion of its target market, a symbol of a political movement they wanted nothing to do with. Musk acknowledged some blowback from his political involvement. He eventually stepped back from his government role, but the customers who had left did not come back. A brand that took 15 years to build had been damaged in 12 months in ways that price cuts and new model announcements could not easily repair. The final numbers from 2025 made it official. BYD delivered 2.26 million fully electric vehicles. Tesla delivered 1.64 million. It was the first time in history that Tesla had been outsold on a full-year basis. The crown had changed hands. Wang Chuanfu had set a goal in 2008 to become the largest car manufacturer in the world by 2025. He hit it almost exactly on schedule. The man who had borrowed money from his cousin to start a battery company in a warehouse in Shenzhen had done what every Western automaker, every industry analyst, and Elon Musk himself had insisted was impossible. In January 2026, Tesla quietly discontinued the Model S and Model X, its two flagship vehicles, after 13 and 11 years in production respectively. The company told investors to stop thinking of it as a car company and start thinking of it as an AI and robotics company. Tesla's future, according to Musk, lay in autonomous robotaxis and humanoid robots, not in selling more sedans. That may ultimately prove to be true. The robotaxi market is real. The Optimus robot is real. There is a version of the future where Tesla's current troubles look like a temporary detour on the way to something much larger. But right now, in 2026, there is also a simpler story. A man who once laughed at his competition, then got distracted by politics, then told his shareholders that the product that built his company no longer mattered, is watching a Chinese chemist from a farming family in Anhui province sell more electric cars in a year than Tesla has ever sold. 3 things this story tells us. First, dismissing your competition is the most expensive mistake a company can make. Musk laughed at BYD in 2011 when it was a legitimate threat. By the time Tesla's leadership took the threat seriously, BYD had already built the manufacturing scale, the battery technology, and the cost structure to win a price war. Tesla had no answer for. Second, brand is not permanent. Tesla's brand was once the most powerful in the automotive industry, built on genuine innovation and genuine aspiration. It took 15 years to build that brand. It took roughly 12 months of political controversy to make nearly a third of American car buyers say they would not consider the product. Brand equity is not a moat. It is a balance that can be drawn down. Third, vertical integration wins long wars. BYD spent 20 years quietly building a company that controlled every critical component of its supply chain. Its batteries, its motors, its chips. When the price war came, and it always comes, BYD could cut prices and survive it. Tesla could not. In 2011, Elon Musk told a journalist that BYD's focus should be on making sure they didn't die. In 2025, BYD sold 620,000 more cars than Tesla. The company that wasn't supposed to survive has won the first round of the most important industrial competition of the 21st century. Wang Chuanfu never laughed at Elon Musk. He was too busy building.